Beautiful. Hello, you wonderful humans. Thank you for being here. It is Wednesday. It is 7 o'clock. It means it's time for our Wednesday weekly workshop where you get to ask Drew anything. Hi. I'm Drew. I'm the owner here at 3D Wellness. I'm also a clinician with more than 17 years of experience doing this work, helping people heal safely and naturally. And every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, I go live to get you answers to the questions that you have. And every now and then, I'm lucky enough to have a guest speaker. And that would be tonight. Now, I am always joined by the incomparable Two Boots Lori LeClaire, so she is here with me also. But I had to hijack her microphones to share with our guest speaker. More on that in just a minute. If this is your first time tuning into this live stream, thank you for being here. We're glad you're here. The way these go, we'll start by going over things that we have covered this week in clinic, and you can chat in questions on YouTube the entire time. We're still working towards that goal on Instagram to get more and more followers on Instagram to fill this thing up, because you need 1,000 followers on Instagram to go live nowadays. So please tell all your friends, share the video, share the link. Thank you so much for that help. And everybody on YouTube, you can chat in those questions. Lori will read them off to us. We'll get you some answers. Okay? This week at 3D, a couple of really good things going on here. The first one was premenstrual symptoms reduction. We had a couple of ladies coming in. It was messing with their home life. It was messing with their work life. It was messing with their sleep. These are big deal things. And we were able to, without the use of any hormone intervention, nourish their body in such a way that their body could better manage and better balance hormones, better tolerate stress, which resulted in a reduction in all things PMS. No side effects, nothing weird. Next one was bedwetting. We had 2 bedwetting cases in the last week. One of them was with a kiddo and one of them was with an adult. So if you're an adult out there dealing with bedwetting issues, you are not alone. It's kind of good news. There's a lot of different things that contribute to trouble holding our urine overnight. They don't all have to do with the kidneys and the bladder. A lot of them have to do with different parts of the brain. So what we found in both of these cases was a little bit of brain nourishment with supper is actually resulting in them not having that bedwetting issue anymore. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Headaches. We talk about headaches pretty regularly here. And I always like to ask people, what part of your head aches? Is it over here? Is it the back? Does it come up the back of your neck? Does it feel like somebody put a headband on you that's too tight? All those different symptoms are kind of cues or clues for us what's actually messing with you. So when you come in with headaches, I'm going to ask you what part of your head is aching, because that's going to help us narrow down what kind of support is actually going to make that better. And then this might look like a typo, but I assure you it is not a typo. There's bad breath, and this is one, I made a video on this years ago. If this is your stomach, this is kind of a crude drawing of your stomach, but your mouth is up here. There is a valve right there at the top of the stomach. It is supposed to be sealed super tight, literally watertight. But if it isn't, vapors from your stomach will sneak up, and that can do a bunch of things. It can mess with how much mucus accumulates with your throat. So if you know the person who is constantly then they're probably dealing with this lack of tight valve issue. Gets annoying after just a minute, right? When those vapors sneak up, they can irritate, they can cause that clearing throat thing, but they can also cause you to have some really gnarly breath. So it's not always about dental hygiene. It's not like, oh, I forgot to floss today. Separate from that, we also worked on bad breath, as in bad breathing. People are really digging the breath workshops that we're doing. We got 2 more coming up this month. Very excited to be doing those. Refresh my memory. Digestion. Oh man. Okay, so digestion, you're going to eat. You should know this info. And athletic performance, you don't have to be a competitive athlete to benefit from that one. If you want to carry in your groceries more easily, help friends move more easily, hustle through the airport when you're late for your flight more easily, all these things, get up on your roof to clean your gutters more easily, all this stuff. There's actually breath work to help facilitate all of that. That's what we're covering. Did I miss anything too, Boots?
No,
I'm sorry you're not mic'd up.
I know.
Okay, cool. All right, all of that kind of felt like the potatoes. Now it's time for the meat. Kim, who was in earlier, thanked me for doing a good job when I erased the board, actually erasing it and not leaving streaks and smudges. She's like, it's a pet peeve of mine. So since I just saw her like an hour ago, it's in my brain to be like, clean that board, Drew. When we are incredibly fortunate, we get to have guest speakers here, and tonight is one of those nights. I'm trying to remember how we even came to know you exist.
Yes.
Yes.
That's correct.
Dr. Moira, the only person to be a 3-time guest of the live stream, got us connected with Bethany. She's going to be the guest speaker tonight. So tonight, I said Ask Drew Anything, but really, it's Ask Drew and Bethany from BDivine Anything. So come on out, Bethany. Everybody, this is Bethany.
Hi, everyone. I'm Beth. I'm the owner of BDivine Aromatherapy. I am a scientist and certified clinical aromatherapist. I was a scientist for 25 years, and now BDivine Aromatherapy makes products for people with focus need based on the science of the oils. I also do personal consultation for people who need a little more in-depth support.
Right on.
Yeah.
So whatever questions are coming to mind for you, you can chat them in, and we'll read them off and we'll get them answered. I know I have some questions for Beth. Those of you that already know me, you know that essential oils are not one of my strong suits. And so often clients would be like, but Drew, you're into all this natural stuff. You seem to know a lot about the natural stuff. Why don't you know about essential oils? There's a lot to learn about it. Mm-hmm. So your title, Certified Clinical Aromatherapist.
Mm-hmm.
Would you talk about that a little bit? Because there are people who do anything as a hobby.
Yeah.
This is way past hobby for you.
Yes, so that's a great question. So I actually got my certification in clinical aromatherapy from the American College of Healthcare Sciences out in Portland, Oregon.
Cool.
And they really focus on the well-being and wellness of people, but part of that clinical, and while I don't practice it, is ingestion, learning about the body, the ways that essential oils, the chemistry. So what I learned was really a lot of chemistry of oils and how it works on the body and ways that you can use it for well-being and to support your overall health.
Right on.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And that's something, at the start of my career, I had a lot of people say, well, the idea of nutrition or eating right, that's really hip and that's really cool. But then there's a level to which we can study something and it's no longer this cool thing or just this hobby or this thing we do on the weekends. It's like what we do.
Yes.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're in that mode with all things essential oils.
Absolutely. And part of what I love is educating people. I think that there's a lot of knowledge about essential oils out there, some true, some not true.
Yeah.
And so, my goal is to really educate you, answer questions, teach you how to use the products or the choices that you have so that you can use them safely. If you're somebody who is maybe on medications, you have medical history, different things like that, these are the things where it's really important to learn a little more about the oil itself and the chemistry and how it can impact you.
Absolutely. So there's one that, it's tough stuff, don't worry. When people are on blood pressure prescriptions around here, we cannot use anything that has licorice in it. And I really like using licorice because it's good for the gut and it's really good for the adrenals, like energy and inflammation.
Yep.
But as soon as they're on a blood pressure prescription, we can't use it.
Yeah.
Because the combination of those two may actually increase pressures.
So that's like peppermint if you have uncontrolled blood pressure. If you are a person who has seizures, you need to stay away from certain essential oils.
Gotcha.
If you are epileptic, you need to stay away from certain essential oils because they can actually trigger them. So
And that comes up, clients say, but Drew, like I read about essential oils, or I read about a supplement. It sounded really good, so I wanted to start taking it, but it tore my gut up and I was in the bathroom. And there's some of that nuanced stuff.
Yeah.
We wouldn't necessarily expect peppermint oil to mess with anything.
Right.
But just because we don't expect it to do something doesn't mean it won't in fact mess with something.
Well, and essential oils have what they call a therapeutic margin. So what it means is that a little bit is really beneficial. Too much is actually harmful. And so there's this therapeutic margin at which you work with and that you want to stay, because otherwise if you go beyond it, it can be harmful.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So is this where I've heard the horror story of the diffuser is going and the person loves the smell of the oil and they add half an ounce to the diffuser instead of the recommended 2 or 3 drops?
Oof. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's well, so thinking about it too, when you diffuse, you absorb it into your mucous membrane, so into your nose.
Yeah.
And you can absorb as much as 70% into your nose, which is a lot.
Potentially, yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
And so when you do that, you can overtax your body. So the way that we filter essential oils is through our kidney and liver. And so if you're diffusing too much, you might find that you're taxing your organs. And then as a result of that, you might actually have some symptoms like headaches or GI issues that impact you. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
I was already glad you were here, but now I'm like really glad. All right. One of the other questions. There's a couple of companies whose names I recognize when it comes to all things essential oils.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely more companies that I don't recognize. Are there things we can look for to know an essential oil is actually high quality?
So that's a fabulous question, and a lot of people ask me that. So if you hear the term it's therapeutic grade, that's not a thing. It's a marketing term. So we'll just dispel.
I've heard that a lot.
That there's not a therapeutic grade, but there is quality oils. And the important question is how do you find out if they're quality essential oils? So I'm just going to share a few things. I source my essential oils from around the world, but what I really need is the testing data. So if you don't know, every essential oil has a chemical profile, and there's a certain percentage of different chemicals, natural chemicals, that are in these oils that need to be there to give you the action of the oil. And so you need that testing, because if I give you a blend and say it's going to help you sleep, it needs to help you sleep every time. And the way that I do that is by looking at testing. So the first way, and I'm going to nerd out a little bit. I'm going to show you a little sheet.
We do a little bit of that here.
We do a little bit.
We do a lot of it.
So this is from a company called Florana. Florana is in France. They've been around for decades, and they're one of my favorite essential oil companies. And what they do is when you buy your oil, you should be able to access the testing data. This is what my testing data looks like. And if you'll notice, there are the highlighted red are the ones that we really care about. Those are the chemical profiles that give the action in the essential oil. And so this one is for lavender. So why does lavender relax you? What is calming about lavender? The chemical linalool and linalool acetate. It's very difficult for me to say that right in a row. But so the way that you can find good essential oils is by making sure that they give you the testing data, to do your research, and that they are a quality company, and developing your nose. As you start to use essential oils, you'll be able to smell. I can just pick something up now and I know if it's chemical or not pure, like, most of the time. That being said, that's not the way to gauge how good an oil is. This is the way.
Okay.
What they do is they do this nerdy little instrumentation called mass spec. So they put this oil on an instrument, and it has this cute little graph that looks like that.
This comes up with a lot of the herbal products we use.
Yeah. Do you see stuff like this too?
And it'll show you, so here's all the things it's made of, and then individual levels of those things.
Yes. So you can see here the individual levels are the high peaks over here and over here. And so this is the way that you test it. And why do I say third-party testing? Because you want the company with the oil to send it out. They don't want to be invested in the testing. You want true data. So that's a really important piece. So definitely looking at the testing data, learning about the company, learning about their history. Are they promoting safe practices? That can be some of the most, and usually if the price is too good to be true, it's not pure, so
100%.
what are some of the common oils that are we call adulterated? What that means is that you have a pure essential oil, and they'll dump chemical components in. So remember, I told you lavender has linalool and linalool acetate. Well, some companies will add extra linalool to their lavender so it pops and it makes the smell greater, but it's not a true, they're what we call adulterating it.
Right.
So yes.
Yeah, I can put that a different way from our world. So a lot of the time when we're talking about vitamin C products, people just think that's going to be ascorbic acid. But ascorbic acid is just one part of what vitamin C is. What you really want to do is you want to get vitamin C from foods like buckwheat. So even when you're taking a vitamin C supplement, you want to see ingredients like buckwheat, because buckwheat is naturally very rich in vitamin C.
Oh, that's interesting.
But what a lot of companies have started to do is say, here's a food-sourced vitamin C product, and they put 20 milligrams of buckwheat, this almost negligible amount, with 1,000 milligrams of ascorbic acid. So their label can say more than 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. But it's junk because that's chemical.
Yes.
So 95% of the product is chemical, and then just this minuscule part is food. Sounds like the same thing.
Yes.
They're spiking the linalool.
They're spiking the linalool.
Just because that's the thing, like, oh, when I open the bottle, the thing I smell is linalool.
Right.
Okay. That happens in supplements also.
Yep. So when you have so rose is really expensive. If you find cheap rose, if you find cheap jasmine, it's highly likely that it's been adulterated and not true. You really do, in the essential oil world, get what you pay for.
Gotcha.
So look for those quality companies that are, sharing their data, they're being transparent, and they're willing to share their testing data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody who is like, I'm just going to casually use essential oils. I want to diffuse something here or there. They're like not a diehard about it by any means. It's probably best if they find a person like you who's going to do that research to find good companies.
It is for many reasons.
Okay.
So people say, essential oils are natural, and I think they find comfort in the fact that it's natural. But I'm going to give you a little story. So my son is a cancer survivor. He took viscrystine while he was on treatment. If you look up viscrystine, it's this beautiful white and pink flower, and it's natural, and it does wonderful things, but too much can be extremely harmful. Well, it's the same thing as essential oils. Too much can be harmful. So if you're putting it on your skin undiluted, that's a conversation we need to have, because that could be dangerous. It could lead to sensitivities. It could lead to allergies and actually greater things. So when we talk about being educated, little fact, when you diffuse, you should only diffuse between 30 to 60 minutes. And the reason that is because your blood becomes saturated with the components. And again, as we talked about earlier, you can tax your kidney and liver if you're diffusing too much. And so while things seem very simple and very natural and very straightforward, they really are more complicated than that. I don't want to steer people away from using essential oils, and I don't want to scare them, but I do think taking the time to be educated on certain things is really good if you're going to start out using essential oils, especially if you're a newbie.
Yeah.
So
we talk about the dangers of the false sense of security from natural stuff pretty regularly.
Yes.
My favorite example is a compound that can kill you, dihydrogen monoxide. Dihydrogen monoxide is potentially fatal. The problem with it is that it's everywhere we go. It is naturally occurring in nature. It's in restaurants, and it's in grocery stores, and it's all over. It's in this office suite right now, And too much of it will literally cause your lungs to stop functioning. Your heart will stop and you'll drown, because dihydrogen monoxide is the chemical name for H2O, which is water. Okay? So people are like, but it's natural. Yeah, but if you fill up this room with water, I'm going to drown.
Yes.
So there's a limit. Just because something's natural. Natural doesn't equal safe.
Correct.
That's 100%, the way we put it.
Yes.
People get excited about it, though, because that time I was thirsty, that dihydrogen monoxide sure helped. Maybe I should have some extra. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So somebody who is going to be really casual about it, they can reach out to a person like you to better understand things like sourcing. They just want to know they're getting real lavender and not spiked lavender.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Because not everybody's going to like get into that stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
So years ago, I was looking at different options for keeping things like fleas and ticks off my dogs. And I found a product, I think it was called Furfume, like perfume.
I love that.
Okay. And the veterinarian that I was seeing at the time said, yep, just spray it on the dog's armpits and behind their ears, and it'll help keep that stuff away.
Nice.
So I was always under the impression that these essential oils were safe around animals. But as I started to learn just a little bit more about it, it was just like supplements. It was like, we can't just say supplements are safe.
Right. It's
like there's too many different essential oils to say they're all safe.
Yes.
So would you talk about cats and dogs for a little while?
Yeah, for sure. So cats and dogs are a little different in the way that they process essential oils. So first, let's talk about cat or dog. You should never put essential oil directly on your animal. So that could lead to, so when you talk about spraying in their pits and it's a vet, I would totally trust that. Because the honest truth is that in the aromatherapy world, there are not a lot of people that work with animals, and there's so much data that is left that is really needed. It's really lacking. Let's just put it that way. So I trust the vet implicitly, but as a general standpoint, I would tell you never to put anything directly on your animal. Like if you have a dog and they're having, anxiety issues, if they have a little scarf and you want to put a drop on their scarf, that's an okay thing to do.
Okay.
Cats and dogs deal with essential oils differently. So let's first talk about cats.
Okay.
So, I keep saying this, but I'll say it one more time. Cats cannot filter essential oils in their kidney and liver the way that humans and dogs do. And so the general recommendation is that you do not diffuse with water. I'll preface this. Lori and I had a conversation earlier. No water diffusion with cats because they cannot filter out the essential oils in that way, and it could be toxic to them. So if you are somebody that wants to diffuse, I brought a fun little demonstration for you. This is known as passive diffusing. And if you've never heard of passive diffusing, this is a really great tool, especially if you have young children, cats, elderly. But what you do is you put 2 to 3 drops of your pure essential oil on here, and it needs to be in your immediate space. So maybe at your bedstand, at your desk, right at where you're watching TV, and it gently diffuses through the air so that you get the benefits of the oil without it being so powerful.
Okay.
So if you have cats, you can still diffuse passively. You can use room sprays. And that's safe to use with cats as long as your cats don't lick your pillow or lick where you sprayed it. But those are choices that you have. With dogs, you have a lot more options. Tea tree is definitely a no-no with dogs ever. It's very toxic to them.
Okay.
So even the little bit on their collar is a no-no. You just don't want to use tea tree if you have a dog.
Gotcha.
And what I would say is when you have pets and you diffuse, always leave the room open. Pets, if they don't like something, will often just leave the room. So give them a chance to be able to leave the room if they don't like the scent or if they're feeling uncomfortable.
Okay.
So
cats and dogs, not the same.
Not the same.
Sounds like cats have more difficulty with clearing that stuff from their system.
Correct.
Okay. And avoid direct skin contact. So we're talking about the scarf or that little, did you call it passive diffusion?
Yeah, passive diffusion.
Kind of
Yes, exactly. Cool. So that's what I would recommend. So you don't have to give up diffusion totally. Just have to make it look a little different.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that's good to know.
And a little trick, if you're somebody that wants something when you go to sleep at night, you can take a little cotton ball and add a couple drops and stuff it in your pillow, and so you can still get the benefit of the scent right next to you without harming your animal.
Gotcha.
So there's some easy tricks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm thinking of a client who has the dryer balls instead of using dryer sheets.
Yeah.
And they liked to add 1 or 2 drops of essential oil to one of those balls to make their laundry smell fresher.
Yep.
So my question is, the dryer gets nice and hot. Does that mess up the oils?
Absolutely. That's a fabulous question. And I actually wind up telling this to people a lot. So yes, you can use dryer balls. Yes, you can use essential oils. But here's what you do. You let your dryer, let your clothes totally become dry.
Yeah.
Then you turn off the heat on your dryer. You add a couple drops of your essential oil to the dryer ball. And then you, 5 minutes should be enough.
Cool.
But just turn the heat off at the end. When everything's, just let it tumble for 5 minutes, and then you'll get that great smell.
Love that.
So you can also add it to your vacuum cleaner bag if you want to have a little scent as in your house, because sometimes your vacuum cleaner can be a little bit stinky.
Would you jot that one down, please?
You can take a couple drops and put it on your vacuum cleaner bag, so when you're vacuuming, you get a nice little smell.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so pets, let's also talk about kiddos, because that's another group that I'm like, adults are probably going to say like, hey, my breathing feels funny. Hey, my eyes are watering.
Yep.
Pets and kiddos, I'm not expecting that same kind of feedback to be as consistent.
Yes.
So essential oils and kiddos, what should we know?
So the first thing I'll tell you is that there's different views in the aromatherapy community. So what I'm going to tell you is what is my view, but it's not everybody's view.
Okay.
So I would say under 2, I would not use essential oils with kids when it comes to room sprays would be fine. Passive diffusing is fine, but I would not water diffuse, and I would not topically apply anything to a child. And the reason that we say that is, one, because no studies have really been done, but also a child is developing. There's so many things in a young child in their biology and their physiology that's changing that we suggest that you don't do that, because we just don't know. If you want to use essential oils, there's something called hydrosols or flower water. And you definitely can use that. Like if you have a kiddo that's having a hard time sleeping, if they have diaper rash, the flower water and hydrosol is a really great alternative and very gentle. When you distill oil, the water comes off of it, and it has not all, but some of those chemical profile that the oil has.
And is it in a smaller amount also?
Yes. Okay. So often, I mean, you usually can buy it like in a 2 ounce, 4 ounce, 8 ounce. And you really want a company who has hydrosols for hydrosols. It's not the byproduct. You want it because that's how they make it.
Yeah.
So if you have young children, you can do that. As you get up into maybe the 2 to 6 range, you want to use less. So let's say your child is having a hard time sleeping at night. You have a water diffuser. You never want to diffuse all night long, but maybe you want to put 1 to 2 drops in a cup of water in your water diffuser and just have that gently diffuse for an hour while they're going to sleep. So you just dial down the amount. Things like eucalyptus are very, very strong, and so it's usually recommended that you don't use eucalyptus in children 10 and under.
Gotcha.
There's other oils like clove, cinnamon, nutmeg that can actually have neurologic effects on young children, so you want to stay away from that. There was an incident in Madison, Wisconsin with a aromatherapy blend that had clove, cinnamon, nutmeg, and the fire department was called because they thought that it was carbon monoxide poisoning. In fact, it was the blend that they were diffusing in the diffuser for the childcare. I mean, they were trying to do something right. They were trying to, create a germ-free atmosphere. But in young kiddos, those oils can impact them greatly.
Yeah.
And if we go the other way and you think of maybe our parents who are a little bit older, or people in nursing homes, or who are, we call them fragile, so they have medical conditions. You want to, a lot of times, depending on their age or their medical, you want to cut it in half. So you want to dial back the amount you're diffusing, same as small children, and maybe the amount that you topically apply is less because their skin is really thin.
But still, things like eucalyptus, not for people 10 and under.
Correct.
And then maybe we would even say like people 80 and older no eucalyptus.
It would depend on their health.
Okay.
Like if they had breathing problems, certainly. If they had asthma, certainly. So eucalyptus actually can trigger an asthma event. So in people, so that's another thing. So it would depend on their lung health, I guess.
Okay.
But you certainly would want to be careful for sure.
But even watering it down under 10, no eucalyptus.
Unless you used a passive diffuser or room spray.
Okay.
That would be acceptable. But anything like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a nasal inhaler.
So Beth dropped off the stress one that she makes. I keep it in the primary consult room. I love that one.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
That is amazing.
That's great.
Once or twice a day.
And you really do feel that way when you use it.
Oh, yeah.
So inhalers, water diffusers, if you're elderly or you're young, I would stay away from those. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard you use the term water diffuser and passive diffuser now. So water diffuser is what I'm expecting most people know. So those little machines, looks like steam coming out of the top of it.
Yes.
Compared to a passive diffuser, a water diffuser is more potent?
Definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely, by quite a bit. And then you have one more kind of diffuser, is a nebulizer. So a nebulizer would be a diffuser where you'd have a bottle like this and you would screw it in and it would just shoot out pure oil as opposed to diluted in water. And that's, the nebulizers are where I think people need to be really careful because that's really powerful.
Yeah, high potency.
High potency. Okay. Yeah. So short amount of time for specific purposes.
Gotcha. With the water diffuser, the potency increase, is that because it's just getting more disseminated compared to a passive diffuser?
Yeah, because there's a lot more being pushed out into the air, if you will. Gotcha. So it's being forced out and it's pure oil. Whereas this, when first of all, it's quantity, right? Like the amount of actual stuff going into the air is much greater. Okay. Both in, yes.
Gotcha. Okay. That's good to know.
That wasn't very articulate, but
That's okay. We all understood.
Yeah.
Okay. So pets and kids, and I realized I skipped a step. Before the kid comes out, when the mom is pregnant, can moms use essential oils?
Another great question.
Okay.
The answer is yes and no. And let me qualify that. So when you're pregnant, they tell you can't, eat certain things. You can't do certain things. Obviously, with essential oils, it's the same thing. It's not appropriate to do studies on pregnant women with essential oils, so we don't have that data. The chemistry definitely dictates 2/3 of essential oils you would not want a pregnant mama to use. Remember now, if you're diffusing or you're putting it on your skin, what mama gets, baby gets. Yeah. And so you need to be really careful. There are oils, like particularly citruses, like lemon, orange, rose. There are certain oils that are absolutely okay to use. Always check with your doctor first.
Sure.
But in that case, you need to be very careful what oils you are using. They should be limited and they should be purposeful. And certainly, like with water diffusion and the more powerful stuff, that's one I might say be careful. I would say probably not that, and I would do a passive diffuser instead.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we really need to be careful if you're pregnant because you pass that along to baby, and not that necessarily it'll hurt it, but we just don't know.
Right.
And so you just want to be careful. You don't want to take a chance.
So that comes up for us because I love MediHerb. It's the herbal affiliate of Standard Process. And I've seen these products help people with all sorts of different things. But the lack of studying pregnant women, which we get it because it's an ethical thing because we can't get consent from the fetus, from the kiddo. All the Standard Process supplements are made out of food. Yes. So I'm like, are you allergic to radishes? No. Great. Have some Spanish black radish in supplement form, like that.
Yeah.
Are you allergic to beets? No. Great. Here's another supplement that's mostly made of beets. We can do that stuff because we know mama doesn't have an allergy to it. Yeah. It's this unknowing part that we're trying to avoid. We don't know that essential oils are dangerous for mom and baby.
Correct.
And that's why it's dangerous.
Right.
Because we don't know.
And why take the chance?
It's like jumping into a body of water that you've never explored. you don't know if there's a boulder right under the surface of the water where you're jumping.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not jumping in that water until I know what's going on with that
No.
water.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Did any chats roll in? Before, because I still want to dork out. Yeah, keep dorking out. All right, so I just grabbed that MediHerb supplement, so it's on my brain. This is called Andrographis complex. We use this. They use Mr. Doodles. I didn't introduce Mr. Doodles during the intro today. I should have. The dry erase board is lovingly referred to as Mr. Doodles. All right. Oh, was brown the really dark color, Lori? Mm-hmm. Okay, skip that. Purple. All right, so Andrographis complex. This really shines in two areas. It is the acute immune challenges and stress. It is a blend of Andrographis. It's got some echinacea in it. And then it's got two forms of holy basil. It's got the plant form, but then it's also got the oil in it. And it's for ingestion. Are you versed in holy basil? I'm totally putting you on the spot.
No, actually, I am not versed at all. And you're writing that, and I'm like, oh, nuts. I should know more about that.
Well, it's interesting because in here, echinacea is the main ingredient. And then you have 100 milligrams of the holy basil, followed by 10 milligrams of the essential oil. And when people use this supplement, one of the things we encourage them to do, because holy basil and echinacea are very reactive with your mouth, is actually gnaw on the tablet until your mouth tingles.
Interesting.
And then you can swallow it down.
So it's antibacterial? No.
It supports the part of the immune system that fights pathogenic bacteria.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really good at not messing with good bacteria, though. It's like selective because it's helping your immune system to attack. And your immune system, barring any kind of certain condition, can identify friend and foe.
Interesting.
So if your immune system is fighting the bacteria, it'll walk up to the bacteria, identify it as friend or foe, and then act accordingly.
That's interesting. I'd want to look at some of those immune modulators and just see, right, how holy basil would work on that. Yeah.
So essential oil wise for immune system, what are some of them?
Yeah. So for immune system, well, we'll get back to what's good for the immune system is the cinnamon, the clove, the nutmeg. It really is. It is really some of the best antibacterial. While you need to be careful, and make sure that you dilute it. So if you didn't know, and you can find this information online, but every essential oil has its own dilution factor. So for example, lavender, you shouldn't use at greater than 0.1% in a dilution because it can cause allergies or irritation. Whereas peppermint, for occasional use, you can use as high as 15%. If you do the diluting, the cinnamon, the clove, nutmeg can be really good for your immune system. And also if you're diffusing it around the house to get the bugs out, like if you don't have a dog, tea tree is fabulous for getting the germs out. Rosemary is really good for getting the germs out.
Right on.
So yeah.
I was chuckling in there when you were talking about lavender because I realized why, as you were saying that, why I had a rash on my neck in college. I was given a lavender pillow spray before I went to university. And the first couple of nights I used it, I put 2 sprays on there and it didn't do anything for me. So I hosed my pillow with it. And it worked. It knocked me right out. It was great. Slept great. Slept totally great. But then I got a rash on my neck. Yeah. So in there, if I heard you right, you said the concentration of lavender above 0.1%.
Yeah, and actually it's different in the US than it is in Europe. Europe is even less than that. People don't know that lavender is one of the more highly allergenic oils. So along with tea tree, that's also a highly allergenic oil. So Yeah, so you just want to be careful so you don't so you were clearly having an allergic response or sensitivity issue. But yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Got it. It all
Yeah.
makes sense now.
Yeah.
Now there's some other oils and some other Medior products. This one's called Gut Flora Complex. And I showed this one to you earlier, and I said there's oregano oil in here. And that's something that people have used like a quote unquote natural antibiotic for a long time.
Yeah.
Would you talk about oregano oil a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I don't use oregano oil a lot, but I don't promote a lot of ingestion. When I talk about ingestion, always work with a doctor and an aromatherapist, a certified aromatherapist.
Yeah.
But when you do use oils and ingest them, you use them, I've always been taught, for 3 weeks at a time for a very specific purpose. And then you have to stop and give the body a break. And oregano oil is one of those that you would use to help the gut.
Yeah.
So yes, that's and oregano is also oddly enough, it's really good at relaxing the muscle. So and little fun fact, it can also help with snoring.
With snoring.
Oregano and thyme.
Okay, so I'm going to write that down for everybody out there. All right, so oregano and thyme.
Yeah. Fun little fact. I mean, none of us and all of us snore. So
snoring support or anti-snoring support. You guys know what I mean when I say that. You all get that. All right, somewhere in there a question popped up. Yeah, so that was the idea. There's an herb that we really like to use. It's called golden seal.
Oh, I've heard of that, yeah.
And it's what I refer to as like the big guns for immune stuff.
So like when you get sick, you would take golden seal?
Yeah, you can do that. Or if you know you're going to go into a circumstance riddled with immune challenges. A client who got a new job working at Milwaukee Metro Sewage District.
Oof.
And part of his job was cleaning some really disgusting things. And I was like, hey, guess what? Your first 6 weeks on the job, we're putting you on golden seal because we don't know what you're going to get exposed to.
Yeah.
And I want your immune system in front of all of that.
Yeah, for sure.
But with golden seal, people usually take it for 4 to 6 weeks. And then you take a break.
And if I can jump on that,
yeah,
you know, in aromatherapy, really, we've always been taught to always take a break. Even if it's diffusion, putting it on your skin, all of the things, if you're using one product heavily, it's probably good to take a little bit of a break and switch out. So if you're diffusing, you know, get your top 3 or 4 favorite blends or oils and switch them out, you know, every month, let's say, or every 2 weeks, have a calendar and switch it out so that you're giving your body a break from those oils.
Gotcha. That's really good for people.
It sounds like that's that way in herb life too, is to.
With a lot of the herbs, there are some herbs. For the people out there who don't know, one of my certifications is as an herbalist, and I use it clinically my whole career. There's some herbs that are safe just to take perpetually.
Okay.
Echinacea is an example of that. Ginkgo biloba is an example of that. You can take those for decades without rest. No ill effect. There's much more research on that out of Europe and Australia than there is in the States.
Sure.
Probably because of financial stake.
Yeah.
Is at stake, financial stuff's at stake. So some herbs you can just take perpetually. But then other ones like golden seal, some of the adrenal support herbs, you should cycle through them.
Okay.
So in the world of adrenal health, like energy, stress support, I know that's going to be a question for a bunch of people. Probably heard the term ashwagandha.
Yeah.
Yeah, very popular right now. Maybe you've heard of ginseng. There's a couple of different types of ginseng that are out there. There's gotu kola. That's another one. What else is adrenal stuff that we use here? Eleuthero.
And when you say adrenal energy?
Yeah, our adrenal glands in our body are really critical in terms of the energy production in our body.
Yeah.
Giving us that get up and go.
Yep.
If you ever had an adrenaline rush, you felt the exaggerated version of what our adrenals should do a couple times a day for us. Just give us a little nudge to keep us going. All of these are really wonderful plants that do really great things, but we typically don't have people just stay on one of them straight through. Couple of months of ashwagandha, cycle off, start the ginseng. Couple of months, cycle off, go to cola, rinse and repeat.
That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And it's the same thing in the aromatherapy world.
Yeah, where you really should give your body a break and cycle through different ones. There's so many beautiful oils that there's no reason to stay on one. You can find multiple and then, use them intermittently.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If there were like 2, 3, 4 oils that you would say, oh, when people say they need energy, I'm inclined to recommend these.
Yeah, I mean, so that's an interesting question. So I'm always careful with the energy because if you're somebody fully depleted, trying to give you more energy is not helpful.
Right.
So you want to actually support that piece that's maybe tired or exhausted. So for me, I love rosemary. There are studies that have been done for memory, concentration, focus, and I love rosemary not just from the smell, but because it is really good mental stimulation and brain support.
Right.
My other favorite is Melissa. So Melissa's lemon balm, and it's a rock star in my world. It is really good if you know what monkey mind means. When you're sitting in bed and you're like thinking about all the things and your mind's just going off. This lemon balm is really good for bringing calm and just quieting that stress that you have in your mind. And I think it's better than lavender, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
Let's see, what else do I love? I'm a huge fan of geranium.
Yeah.
And I didn't always love geranium, but when we're talking about mood balance, if you're really stressed out, you have a lot of anxiety, if you have hormone imbalance, and that can be guys and girls, geranium is a really good balancer of mood. So when we talk about stabilizing that could be really good. And then I think, well, and now I'm going to be biased here, I just love eucalyptus.
Okay.
Eucalyptus is refreshing, it's bright, it's energizing. Yeah, and I just think it's good for all sorts of things.
Right on.
It's a good antibacterial, good antiviral, good antifungal, but it smells great too. So yeah, those are my top 4.
Could you repeat what the rosemary is good for?
The rosemary is good for mental stimulation, focus, concentration, memory. There are some studies actually out in PubMed about it, and we definitely need to do better and get more, but those are some of the studies that have come out that are promising.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so my brain is just like going with all this because I've already learned a lot. I'm really glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm learning a ton too, which
cool.
is great.
Okay.
I think they're really parallel worlds and they're really complementary to each other. And yeah.
Yeah, it's that natural realm. And again, when we say natural, that doesn't mean safe. It just means from nature.
Yes.
Grizzly bears are natural too. I'm not going to rub one on my armpits because I want my armpits to smell better. But that's my question is, I see in stores, Target, for example, lotions with essential oils, deodorants with essential oils, toothpaste with essential oils, shampoo with it. Are there any brands out there you're aware of that are telling us how much essential oil is in the shampoo or in the body wash?
That's a really great question. I have not actually looked because I don't even do that on my products.
Gotcha.
I don't even put the percentage, and I think that's more of a privacy issue. Like you don't want to give away your recipe.
Yeah.
I think
proprietary blend.
Proprietary blend. Thank you. It was escaping my mind. I do. So like we were talking earlier, that essential oils have different dilution rates.
Yeah.
I do adhere to all of those dilution rates that are recommended to keep you from having allergy or sensitivities. Are other companies doing that? I have no idea. Like that is something that would, unfortunately, the FDA does not regulate essential oils. It's considered beauty and cosmetic. And so because of that, you're not required, like the supplements, to put in how much is in there.
Right.
Maybe someday we'll get lucky enough that there will be a regulation and you will start seeing some transparency that way. Because it would be really helpful for those of us who are practicing aromatherapy to have more guidelines so that we can be more transparent. I think transparency is really important.
I also think about the legitimacy of aromatherapy then also. We're saying there's a system to measure and assess this. we understand things like potency and outcomes and all that.
Mhm.
Because like you said with supplements, we get that. I have clients
Yep.
who come in, this supplement looked amazing online. I knew I had to buy it right away. It said all the things that I needed. It had all the words. It has ashwagandha and ginseng and gotu kola and eleuthero in it. And then we look more closely, and because they're required to tell you at least
Yes.
overall amounts, the ashwagandha dose was 20 milligrams, which is like a 30th of an effective dose.
Ooh.
Like
Ooh.
25th of an effective dose.
And then maybe why it's not working.
Right. And they're like, but I'm taking this, and the ad said it was going to help me with energy, and it has ashwagandha. Drew, you said ashwagandha was good. But we're talking about quality and quantity, not one or the other, both.
And I don't know if I shared with you, so I sit on a nonprofit board, and we are called ARQAT, ARQAT. Yes.
ARQAT.
Yes. And so it is a group of aromatherapists and scientists who sit on the board. We've been doing research for 2 years, and with support of the Cochrane database, we hopefully will be publishing international guidelines for aromatherapy research in clinical settings with humans. And hopefully that will come out in 2026, where you will have guidelines so that when you do clinical research on humans, doctors and clinicians and nurses can look at it and recapitulate it.
Yeah.
Right. So
It's
that
ARQ.
is ARQAT.
Thank you.
Look it up online. It's a nonprofit.
Cool.
We just are all heart, but really hoping that by publishing these guidelines, so we spent 2 years basically sending out questionnaires to professional aromatherapists, researchers, authors, people who run schools, and getting their feedback about what they think is important in research. And we'll be publishing those results in 2026. So hopefully that'll push forward a little more validity, and we really want reproducibility. That's what we want. So
this goes way beyond hobby, and I want to smell good. Right? Like it's like, way, like I want my house to smell nice. This is way past that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be some people who see this and they go like, oh, like this isn't just that stuff my girlfriend used to have in her apartment.
Yeah.
But it's like going to be like beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really fascinating. So it's a not-for-profit, and the goal is, so I hear legitimacy.
That's what we're going for. We're trying very hard. So the Gadafosse Foundation in France is a very well-known and established foundation. It's a foundation. And so they have been really great in even supporting us with some of our earlier endeavors on this. So yeah, we feel very passionate about bringing forward aromatherapy. I always tell people aromatherapy is a functional scent. Yes, it smells good, but I'm going to tell you why. So it's functional and there is a purpose. And, for me, I want to make it easy for people. I know this is a lot of information that everybody is getting, but I think all of it's important. But for me to make it easy for everybody else to use is part of my job.
Right on.
So, yeah.
The beauty of the videos, one of the things, is people can watch 3 minutes and press pause and just sit back and take in the thing.
Yeah.
Like I told my lavender pillow spray story. Someone very well may just press pause and be like, is that what did it to me too?
Yeah.
Right. And just like have that moment. Whereas like with some of the times when you present live, it's a one pass.
Yes.
And if the person doesn't take time to sit back and like bring it in, they might just lose it. Yeah. So this is a lot of info, but y'all just press pause when you need to. Just
And and if you want to get a little deeper, there is an adverse reactions database out there. I don't have the website that I can share with you, but if you type in adverse reactions and essential oils, there is a database that has been started. And so if in answer that question of is that's what's going on, you can actually go on the database and see, has other people had this problem? Has this happened to them?
Is this a common experience?
Or you can see what has happened and maybe understand a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to have that.
Knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
So,
Lori, I just rattled off a bunch of questions at Beth. Do you have questions for Beth?
Only probably curious, what if somebody came to you for an initial consultation, what would that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So usually when people come for a consultation, I send them a Google form and they fill out all of their medical history. They fill out their goals. They fill out if they are on any medications, and some of the things that they want to accomplish with aromatherapy. And then using the guidelines of the medicine that they're on, or maybe some of their health challenges, we dive deep into how we can support them. In that way. So, you talked about PMS women, for menopausal women, I work with women helping them with hot flashes if they're struggling with hormonal imbalance and migraines. If you're somebody who's been exposed to mold, usually what happens is I come alongside you and support those symptoms, right? Like in conjunction with your doctor and what you're doing, I'll come along and see how we can support you in a aromatic way. So, yeah.
Right on. Did any questions roll in the chat? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I rattled through mine. I'm trying to think if there's any others. I got more out of this than I thought I was going to.
Yay!
The cats, the dogs, the kiddos, the pregnancy, passive diffuser versus water diffuser, which is still different than a nebulizer, which is the most potent.
Yes. And, if you have a parent in an aging care facility, so that's something else, is this can be a support to them as well. So there are ways to support somebody going through hospice, somebody in elderly care facility, Alzheimer's who are sundowning.
Yeah.
That's a little bit deeper of a conversation for another day, but there are a lot of ways that you can support your loved ones.
Let me see if I was really paying attention though. Alzheimer's sundowning?
Yes.
Rosemary would be indicated?
No, actually, so in sundowning, they get agitated and irritated and frustrated. Geranium is one of the main components in the blend that I make for them, because it's mood balance.
Okay.
So it's mood balance, and I can't remember the whole formula, but geranium for sure is help in the agitation piece.
Yeah.
So we had done some initial studies with an aging facility that was a state of Wisconsin sponsored study, and we never got to finish it, but the results were the beginning results were positive.
Right on.
Yeah.
So that brought up two questions for me. First one is, how many different blends does BDivine have?
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, if I were just to I think maybe 40 to 50.
Nice.
And then I do custom stuff. So, people will come to me and say, I want, this blend, and I'll do custom blending for them.
Yeah.
Practitioners, I work with them and I make kits for them based on what they need. So
Very
I would
cool.
say 40 to 50. And it takes a while, because I want it not just to be functional, but I want it to smell good.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into blending. It's kind of like when you're making perfume, you have they call it top notes, middle notes, and base notes.
Yep.
Not only do I blend for function, but then I blend in a perfumery way so that you round out a blend so you have it that it smells good.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants it to smell good.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And noses are very different. If somebody comes up and says, "Oh, I don't like this," I never feel bad, because oils are very personal, and your body chemistry dictates a little bit what you like, how it smells, your own background.
Yep.
So
are you familiar with the Native brand of personal care products?
I'm familiar with it. I don't think I've smelled them though.
Okay. But they deodorants, shampoos, body washes, the whole. I use their spray on deodorant. It's the sea salt and cedar.
Ooh.
Okay. I think it smells pretty good. My brother-in-law uses the same one. The two of us smell totally different.
Mm-hmm.
That's that chemistry bit you're talking about.
Yes.
Because my pH, the bacteria on my skin, all those factors, plus salt and cedar, are going to have a different chemical reaction than what William has.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your chemistry is going to impact how it smells. Like the other day I was helping a woman and I put perfume on it. I make a natural perfume and I put it on me and she loved it. She put it on her and she's like, not so much. So that is a thing. That is truly a thing.
Yeah.
So, and if it's, and it can smell different to you, depending on, your nose.
Yeah.
So.
And then that leads me into the second question that you just mentioned. You left one of the rollers with us. I still haven't tried that.
Okay. Which one?
Was it one of the roller balls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one I left with you, but
Lori will grab. I think you left 2 of them. So I was using the scent stick a whole bunch.
okay.
In terms of, like, I want to hear about.
Oh, the energize and the focus. Yeah, those are very bright.
And my question is, like, this is intended so everybody can see there's a little roller ball on the top there. It's intended for topical stuff.
Correct.
Okay.
Pulse points. So your wrist, behind your ears, your temple.
Pulse points. So a spot where we can feel the pulse of the body more easily at the surface.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Interesting. So there's a carrier oil, jojoba.
Jojoba is the carrier oil. You can use coconut oil.
Okay.
You could use vegetable oil if you really wanted. I
Okay.
mean, as long as you dilute it.
Gotcha.
I find jojoba makes you less greasy
Okay.
because jojoba is most like our skin sebum. So when it soaks in, your skin is very soft.
Yep.
It's not greasy,
Yep.
and I don't like mess.
Right on.
So
Right on.
yeah.
So one of the things I'm getting from tonight is that there are a lot of different ways to deliver aromatherapy.
A lot.
There's 3 different kinds of diffusers.
Mhm.
There's the idea of a roller. Then there's just like the scent stick.
There's the scent stick. There's patches.
The patches is the next thing, because
Yes.
those are really fascinating. Would you just like jam on the patches for a minute?
I will. And today I'll do brain boost because we're at the end of the day and maybe we all need it. So I'm going to open this up. This is called brain boost. And the way that it works is it's an inhaler patch. It works only through inhalation. It doesn't work through absorption. So if you're somebody who has sensitive skin, no need to worry about it absorbing through your skin. You're just going to inhale. So you open it almost like a Band-Aid. And when you rip open the pack, what you have is you have this little tab, and then you got 2 sides. This is the sticky side, the silver.
Sticky back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then when you pull off the front, it says peel me, peel off. There's this little sticky dial, a sticky piece, and it is infused with essential oils. And the way that it works is that you put it around your clavicles. So I would put it right under here, and it would warm up. And for the next 6 to 8 hours, I'm going to get this scent. And it's very personal. So if you're going into a meeting, if you're in a group of people and you really aren't interested in sharing maybe that you're having a bad day, or maybe you're just like, I don't need to smell, this is a really great way to do it, because you're the one smelling it. As it warms to your skin and to your body, the smell becomes a little bit stronger, and then it lasts for 6 to 8 hours. So I think this is a super tool when we're busy. This was actually made for aging care facilities, because caregivers are so busy that they don't, technically, if you are a water diffuser, we didn't talk about this, water breeds bacteria. So every 24 hours, you should be dumping out that water. You should be cleaning it or letting it dry and then adding a new mix. Well, in aging care facilities, the study that I worked with this facility on, we found that the caregivers are just really busy. They're really tasked. They don't have time to change the water and do the things. And so the patches are great because you can literally just put it on and go.
Yeah.
So you can make it part of their care plan if you need something easy for them. So
is that patch stuck to the inside of your fabric?
It's actually stuck right now to my skin.
Okay.
If you are somebody who is very sweaty and it tends to fall off, then you can put it on your clothes and it'll stick on your clothes.
Because I'm thinking there's still enough body heat under a layer to a fabric, even if it's not on my skin.
Yes.
It's still going to warm. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a t-shirt underneath, if I had a t-shirt under this, I could put it on the t-shirt and that would be fine.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Well, and in that scenario, I have a bunch of clients with super sensitive skin. That's what I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to mess up the t-shirt if you stick that on the t-shirt?
It should not. Okay. No, right. So that's a great question. Absolutely not. I've even worn like really thin, chiffon shirts, and I've not had it ruin the shirts. So no, the tab will not ruin your clothes. Okay. It will not leave a stain. It will not leave a mark. The gentleman who made this patent is a genius.
Okay.
He's great.
Right on.
Yeah.
So we have diffusing in different ways, the scent stick, the sticky pads.
Rolling on.
Are there other ways?
Well, here's a fun few ways that we haven't talked about. So your car, cars can get kind of funky, especially got kids and you're dragging and all the stuff. Little vent clips or little things for your car. That's a way to make your car smell great. There's jewelry. So you have necklaces. If you didn't want a tab, a lot of times you have a lava stone.
Yeah.
And they have little necklaces with lava stones or bracelets with lava stones. And in fact, you could use a roll-on and just roll on those lava stones, and then you could wear it. You wouldn't necessarily need to have pure oil to do that. So those are other ways that you can carry scent with you really easy through the day. It doesn't need to be complicated. I mean, it really is simple.
Yeah.
At least in my brain.
When you say lava stone, I'm thinking, is that the same thing as thirsty stone? Like I see coasters made out of that stuff, and it pulls in the water.
Yeah, I mean, it's porous.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're saying.
Yep.
So yes, it's a porous material that the oil will soak into and absorb, and then that's where the
slowly
smell
come
comes
out
from.
of it.
And because it's on your body, it's again warming up, and you're getting the smell.
Right on.
So, yeah.
Oh, super cool. That's
Yeah.
the stuff I had. Is there other stuff that you wanted everyone to know, Beth?
Let's just talk about ingestion for just a minute.
Yeah.
Even though I don't promote it, I just want to give you an example of why I don't promote it. So, for example, a lot of citrus oils, when you ingest, it becomes systemic within your body. That means it goes all the way through your body when you're ingesting it. And so citrus oils can have what we call phototoxicity. So when you actually put the oils in your body and then you go out into the sun, you could become more sensitive to the sun, which could cause sunburn. And as we all know, sunburning can lead to cancer. For example, this is an example I give a lot. So imagine a 15 ml bottle of lemon. I think that I figured it out. It's about 3,000 lemons in a 15 ml bottle. So if you break that down per drop, it's like, I think it's 1.5 to 2 lemons per drop. Now you would never eat 1 to 2 lemons, right? You would never drink 1 to 2 lemons. That's really powerful and very concentrated. Yeah. So when you ingest, one of the things that happens particularly with lemon is you can hurt the enamel on your teeth. You can hurt your esophagus. You can hurt your gut. I had a client come to me and she had all these sunspots and wanted to know why. And then we began talking about her drinking her oils, and it became clear that this was why she was having this problem. Yeah. So, going back to where we all started, it's a lot of material. It's very potent. It's very powerful, like the herbs that you talk about. Yeah. And so when you ingest things like citrus oils, that's the effect that you can have on your body. So, a little makes a huge impact. Yeah. So I don't promote ingestion, but if you're bound to do that, please find an aromatherapist who would do that with you. So
yeah.
I think that's.
And I'm thinking about some of the oils that are in some of the herbal products I have. Mm-hmm. Those were developed and tested. Mm-hmm. So I'm not concerned about ingesting those.
No.
But the list of the ones they have for ingestion is a very short list. You can count it on 2 hands or less. So I'm thinking like, people who are just thinking, oh, I heard this is good to ingest, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I'm also flashing back to a client. You said the 15 milliliter bottle, which is one of those tiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
3,000 lemons.
Mm-hmm, something like that.
Would something like that also be true if it was grapefruit oil?
Oh, grapefruit's just as bad.
Okay.
Grapefruit, lime, those will cause huge phototoxicity.
Okay. And the blowout digestion-wise, if you ingest too much?
There is a level that's acceptable. So the French actually practice internal, but the way that they do it is they take a piece of bread and they put it on the bread and then they eat it. And that's how they avoid irritation to gut. So that's actually, that's a great question. So there's types of ingestion.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will just put it in their water.
Yep.
Or their tea. Well, that's oil and water don't mix.
Right.
So that's where you get the gut issue and you get the enamel and all of that because you're drinking it and you're getting these hot spots, right?
Yeah.
When you put it on a piece of bread, you eliminate that. Right. So there is a place for ingestion with people who are trained to do it. Right. The French tend to do it. The doctors are the ones that tend to do it.
Okay.
Right? They're aromatherapists and physicians.
Gotcha.
So, when it's tested, I believe it's fine.
Right.
right? I
That
mean,
makes sense.
it's just when you are randomly putting a drop of lemon, a drop of lime, when it's uncontrolled,
Hmm.
untested. Let's clarify
So
that.
that's what happened with this client was she got this starter kit of essential oils, and she had read somewhere like, hey, you can take seltzer water, add a drop of an oil you like, and it'll help you remember to drink water because it'll taste better. Well, she liked the grapefruit oil so much that she was going Slam City on it. And then she started to get all sorts of GI
Oh, I
issues.
can't even imagine. Yeah.
And she came to me and she's like, hey, something in your supplements is really messing me up. So we're like piecing it together, like, what's going on? She's like, yeah, I washed it down with this great drink I've been making lately. And I was like, oh, cool. What's the drink? She's like, I just take some grapefruit oil. It's from Fill in the Blank Company and add that to water and I drink it. And I was like, how much of that do you usually add? She's like, just, not a lot. I'm like, that's not an amount. Like, tell me drops, like numbers, right? It's like when you ask your kid a question. How many cookies did you eat? Not that many. Okay, now I know that it's a lot. Just give me a number, right? Like, not an opinion. Data, And it was that was blowing her out.
Oof.
We used a supplement called Gastrex, which helps heal the lining of the digestive tract. Because like she didn't, just because she stopped the grapefruit in the water, she didn't bounce back. We had to do something to bounce her back.
Oh yeah. And I wonder if she'll ever be able to use grapefruit again in any capacity. Like I wonder, sometimes you find that, like what I find is when people finally come to that point of having an immune response, because I mean, it's not, maybe they didn't know, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's your fault, but when you get that immune response, sometimes people can't go back. They can't have anything to do with the oil because of that. So, and I do have one more thing I was thinking about is we were talking about oil and water don't mix. So I'm a tubber. I have this great soaking tub and I love it. At the end of the day, everybody knows don't bother mama when she's in the tub. Oils and water don't mix. So if you're going to use essential oils in your tub, use what I call a solubilizer. It's a very fancy word, but really what it means is use an agent that allows you to break up that oil into smaller bits. Otherwise, what happens, you get hot spots. And what that means is it lands on your skin and maybe irritates or burns your skin because there's these large droplets of oil. So if you can't find a solubilizer, like you go, and buy it almost anywhere, if you have soap, right? You could put literally a drop. I don't think you'd want to do dish soap, but if you had some hand soap or something that smelled good, just put a little of that with your oil and then put it into your bath. Salt is not enough to solubilize it. Alcohol is not enough to solubilize it. You literally need a solubilizer or a soap. And you just add a couple drops with your essential oil and then in the tub, and then there's no worry about irritating your skin or having hot spots or anything like that.
Gotcha.
So,
Lori, would you please grab a Medi Body Bath container? Because we sell a powdered mix that's designed to help detox. It's got quite a few essential oils in it also. So I just want to get your eyes on this real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
It breaks down beautifully in the water except for some of the solids.
Ooh, this is fascinating.
So it's got a carrier oil. Yeah, it's got grapefruit, it's got juniper, it's got lavender, it's got lemongrass, it's got rosemary, it's got fir.
So what's really interesting about that? So lemongrass and juniper are known for drainage.
Okay.
They're known for like lymphatics and drainage, and the word is escaping me right now, but I bet you this smells really good.
That smells pretty
Fir
good.
is also really good for lymphatic drainage. So there's definitely some oils in there that I recognize as helping to why am I escaping the word, but helping with lymphatics and
we talk
flow.
about drainage all the time in here.
Okay.
Yeah, just getting stuff to mobilize.
Oh yeah, I bet you that smells really great. I mean, the carrier oil is great. I'm not sure you need it in here with the powder.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When you mix it with the clay, it's a whole nother, like you could just use clay with an oil and put it in and you would be fine.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's seaweed and clay. Oh.
This is kind of like Epsom salts for grown-ups. Because it's all the relaxing benefit of the Epsom salts plus lymph support, liver support, some skin detox.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I make a bath tea, and it's the same idea where you have like coconut milk, essential oils, and herbs meant to like help with the skin and health and all that stuff. So
that's great.
I don't think there's anything else I can think of, but you never know.
I think you should tell the folks your email address.
Yes.
So you know how to get in
Would you shout
Oh,
that?
yes. Okay, so if you want to look up products, I'm at
Definitely.
www. Oh, bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I get to erase.
You do.
Okay. All right. Look at that. Be a good eraser.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So
Kim
it's
will be happy.
BDivine. D-I-V. Oh my gosh, I can't even spell. Hello.
Oh, you should watch more of the live streams. I'm constantly
I
like,
promise you, I can.
I'm like, hey Lori, are there 2 D's in added? No, Drew, there's
Okay.
3. Oh,
I
there's.
can
Oh, that's
spell my
right.
business name. I promise.
It's all good.
BDivine Aroma.com. And if you have questions, you can always reach me at Beth at BDivineAroma.com. That's my email. So the www.BDivineAroma.com or Beth at BDivineAroma.com for my email.
Wonderful.
And you're also offering a discount, aren't you, with people that are
I am offering a discount. I don't remember what it is.
It's 15%.
It is 15% off, and I don't remember the discount code name.
If you grab the cards, should still be on the desk in Royal,
There's this card, but I think you had a different one that
and the code is 3DW15.
Yes, 3DW15. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Takes a village.
It takes a village.
So that's the coupon code for 15% off, which is pretty cool. I'll tell you the is it stress? Is that just what the blend is called in one of those sniff sticks?
It's stress relief. Yes.
Stress relief.
Yes.
That's my personal favorite right now. Strongly encourage it. I'm just really digging it. I think those patches, though, those are some next level stuff because a lot of people can't wear scents in the workplace,
Yes.
but they could have that thing parked right there and still benefit.
Or if you have an office, you can do this because nobody outside your office is going to smell this. This is
pretty
really
cool.
popular with people who have offices that can't diffuse. If you're a teacher, you can have that on your desk without affecting other students.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a
That
nice way
sounds
to
really
do
good.
it. So
That sounds smart.
yeah, so go online, check it out. I give safety information, you get ingredients, you learn about the product. I have loved my time here. Thank you. I've learned a lot.
Right on.
So
I'm already thinking it's going to be one of those repeat guests like Dr. Moira. I feel like this might open up the dam because so many people have asked me about aromatherapy and essential oils,
it's interesting. Yeah.
and I'm just not versed in it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, great, now I have a person.
Yeah.
That makes it easier.
That's me. So yes, reach out with any questions after the fact if you have them. I'd love to answer them. And I do think it's the herbs and the oils are like a perfect mix together.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to see that they're using some of them in there. That actually really excites me because I feel like that's progress.
Yeah.
Right there.
There's
So,
a liver product that has rosemary oil in it also.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Nice.
that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Cool.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Of course, thank you
I've
for
learned
being
so
here.
much. Yeah.
I'm going to grab
Thank you,
Indy
guys.
and play us out for just a bit. You have the contact info for Beth. We will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And then the week after that, so 2 weeks from tonight, is when we are announcing our colorful promotion winners. Week after that is Christmas Eve. I don't think you're going to see us on Christmas Eve. I think we're going to be going home to our families. So chant in the comments right now what kind of ridiculous thing you would love to see us do instead of a Wednesday weekly on Christmas Eve. All right, let's get this thing tuned up because I bumped its headstock. Good enough for rock and roll. That is not good enough for rock and roll. Let's identify that real quick. So just right there, For everybody who's like, there's no way Drew was a professional musician before he was a nutritionist, I knew what string was out of tune on my guitar just from strumming a chord. There's my proof. All right, here we go. We'll see you next week.